racing and bells and toys, and you don't even have to pick up the phone anymore. There are people who have their numbers unlisted and they communicate with the world through the internet, and their number's not even listed. Are you with me?
Yes.
So Yahweh's tabernacle must be built with listen, willing, move, caring, giving. No hearts, no tithes are mentioned here. This is an opportunity. The terumah is our opportunity to demonstrate to Yahweh the love for the house of His presence. Are you with me? That's not tithing. Tithing is an obligation. It's not tithing. You tithe because you're under obligation to tithe. I mean, if you don't want to be under a financial curse. But terumah is your opportunity to demonstrate to the Father your love for the fact that He has put you in a house, and there are other people in that house with whom you dwell and He dwells that need assistance, that need help, that need underwriting. And I'm not doing this to get a big offering today. That's the big doing you. Yahweh says, if you're not one of these hearts that are compelled to move, please, it's not for you. He's looking for people in our monthly tzedakah. And I don't know, I don't have the money, but maybe Yahweh will continue to deal with me to open up another warehouse across the street and make it a food center where people who need food can come by and take what they need. I know that'd be a blessing to at least 10 people in this congregation who sometimes don't eat very well because they don't have a lot of money. Okay, now, but how does Rabbi do that? Well, I need $1,400 to sign another lease. That's another $1,400 a month. And then there's got to be another $1,000 a month in canned goods. Are you going to look to someone else to buy those canned goods so we could feed the people that are in Yahweh's house? Or are you going to look to me and Rivka to go shopping and buy more cans when we buy our groceries? See what I'm saying? I'd love to do that. I would love to rent even a half-size warehouse, $500-600 a month, and make it into a food pantry where people, and it's open, whatever, 9 to 5, where people can come that really need help and feed them and make sure they have enough to eat. That's terumah. Are you with me on that? Can we do that? Does our outreach only have to be internet? Does it only have to be electronic?
No.
Does it only have to be in books and in CDs? Maybe it does. But now, here's an opportunity. And brothers and sisters, we're taking up a monthly terumah, and we're barely getting $60. And I know people here who have already pledged to give Yahweh their life. And when Yahweh says, you're under obligation to pay your tithe, but when it comes to terumah, give me your best. Does any of this make sense?
Yes.
This is where the rubber meets the road. Okay, when it came time to, Charles said, help me. I had a choice. I could have said yes or no. Okay, I'm trying to help Brian set up his ministry. I've taken the music off of the videos and gave them to him so he can market his own music videos. Now, am I going to hurt for that? Is that going to hurt my ministry? Not this side of hell, it won't. Because it is more blessed to give than to receive. If I can take the music off of the videos, give them to Brian, and give him the rights to it, and he sells the music because it's partially his worship, then I'm blessing him and financing his ministry. He'll be able to finance and help another ministry somewhere down the road.
That's right.
That doesn't make me a super saint. It just makes me being enlightened or quickened to the way Yahweh works. Amen? Turn to your neighbor and say, the way Yahweh works. So to be honest with you, the terumah is where the rubber meets the road. Because Yahweh says it's a demonstration of willing hearts who understand that Yahweh is looking for donations when it comes to building His tabernacle, and that is the tabernacle of His presence. Is there anyone here that can say His presence is not among us every Shabbat? Last Rosh Chodesh. Do you remember what went on here last Rosh Chodesh?
Yes.
It was like happy hour at the local bar. Yelling and screaming. Did you ever see yourself? Did you ever see yourself in the Miami Beach Israel revival? You ever look at yourself in a mirror? You're dancing, you're doing it. You've never danced on a heathen dance floor, a ballroom dance floor in your life. You're up here shaking things for Yahweh. Turn to your neighbor and say, I saw you shaking things for Yahweh. You act silly. You should see yourself when you come in to the man. You're acting silly.
For Yahweh.
For Yahweh.
Amen.
The word of Yahweh says we are fools for Mashiach.
Back for Yahweh.
We're fools for Mashiach. But that presence is in among his people. And Yahweh dwells, he says, I want the terumah because I have made a place for my dwelling. And brothers, as long as the Hekel is not built in Yerushalayim, this is the only Hekel you're going to have. I'm sorry. Sorry. This is the only Hekel you're going to have. Right here. Now that doesn't mean give money to the rabbi. If that's what you're hearing, you need Q-tips. It means there are brothers and sisters in here that I need to help, that you need to help, because Yahweh's presence is in this house, and we are members one of another.
Amen.
Come on.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Come on now.
Look at the beauty of Yahweh. Up until from Genesis chapter 1, Ted, to Exodus 25, it's all been Yahweh. He didn't ask man to do nothing. It's been all Yahweh. Now comes the first time that he asks his people to demonstrate that love to him by taking a free will offering, not just from anybody, but from Levim Nedavot, from hearts that are willing, incited, compelled to volunteer to take care of his temple. When you feed your brother, you're taking care of your temple. I don't care how much money you give to charity. Are you feeding your brothers and sisters? Are you taking care of your brother? It is us. Yahweh is looking to see how we treat each other. Yeshua said, if you love one another, all men will know that you are my disciples. If you have love one for another. Amen? We are to carry each other's burdens. Yeah. Am I sharing this message with you so that our monthly tzedakah offerings go up? Absolutely. It's disgusting. It's a disgrace that we have to take in $50 a week for people that have a $100 phone bill. And none of that stuff is ours, because the gold, the silver, and the bronze, we gave all that to Yahweh when we made a marriage contract with him through the blood of his son Yeshua. What is ours? All these things are on loan to us because of the goodness and the mercy that follows us all the days of our life. These things follow us. Are you with me? We are to give secondary attention to the unbelievers and primary attention to the house where Yahweh has chosen to dwell. This is the house. This is the house that Yahweh has chosen to dwell. And yes, it's not limited to finances, but isn't it funny? Yahweh tests the heart with a financial calling. Huh? Isn't that interesting? Why? Couldn't he have said, I want you to go visit the lepers first, because this is going to be my temple? He wants to build himself a house, but the first thing is he says, and here's how we're going to get started. Bring me your gold, your silver, and your bronze. Here's how we're going to get started.
First.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Which is why I do what I do. We are under a mandate to tithe. Do you understand that? That's not an option. Okay? And when I was a rabbi in that other place, and I made so many mistakes, it's not even funny. I still make some mistakes, but not as many as I used to make. You've heard the story a million times. I used to put in a little coffee can in the back of the room, remember? Little Maxwell House coffee can with a little, settle with gold. Because I was not going to shove a basket under people's nose. I wasn't going to be seen putting a basket like the church does, and that's compelling people to give and forcing them to give and putting them under pressure. I'm too spiritual to shove a basket under their nose. Well, guess what? Well, guess what, honey? Every person, Yahweh is my witness, strike me dead if I'm lying. Every person in that congregation was unemployed. And it was my fault. My fault. Because I was misleading them. They had no choice to pay their tithe. They had no choice. Are you with me? Not one, Rivka's a witness. Amen? not one, and the ones who were working could barely get part-time work, and they would sit at a desk from 9 to 2, twiddling their thumbs, praying to the deity for the phone to ring so they can close a deal.
And they kept getting fired.
Fire, termination, layoff. And the people who were working, it was great. If working means sitting at a desk, they were working. If working means being gainfully employed, they were out of business. It was the rabbi's fault. Of course, in those days, I wasn't a rabbi, I was a pastor.
Ah, that's why.
Pastor Marshall.
No wonder.
Real spiritual rabbi. Put a coffee can on the wall and told people to settle with goat and toad, or whatever his title was. Insane. What kind of a shepherd am I if I don't provoke you to obey Yahweh in the tithe and then to demonstrate your love in the terumah? Are you with me? The terumah is for Yahweh's house. The terumah is not just for any good deed or good charity. Pick a charity, any charity. No. The terumah is specifically designed to maintain and take care and oversee Yahweh's house. Are you with me? You know, the world makes fun of the poor widow woman who deeds her house or her belongings to her church or to her congregation. They make fun of her. Yahweh's not laughing. Yahweh is heaping up rewards for that woman in heaven. Oh, what an idiot. She left everything to her congregation. What an idiot. She was doing terumah.
Right.
The giving of an estate. When you deed your estate to a congregation that's following the ways of Yahweh, guess what? That is terumah. That is terumah. You need to think about that. You and I need to think about that. If Yeshua tarries and we haven't returned to Israel, who's going to provide for this house when you're gone and when Rabbi Moshe is gone? If this work is of man, when I go to be with Yeshua, this work will cease. The doors will close. And then you will know if this was of man or of Yahweh. Because a man without a successor is not a success.
Come on.
And I've got plenty of successors floating around the world, honey. Because Yahweh's been good to me. The little boy that no one would let preach.
Hallelujah.
Yahweh's been good to me. And you don't make your own breaks. You let Yahweh make the breaks. You follow through on what you know how to do, and everybody else will fall into line or get rolled out of the way. You act on what you know how to do, and everybody else will follow you or get rolled out of the way. Amen?
Amen.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Oh, this is good stuff. Shemot 36. I told you it was going to be quiet today. Did I tell you that? That doesn't mean it's not going to be good. It just meant it's going to be quiet. Shemot 36. Verse 5. Don't preach too loud. It's money. You're talking about money. Don't preach too loud. Shemot 36 and 5. Did the people obey? Did the people listen?
Yes.
Let's read Exodus 36, 5. And they spoke to Moshe saying, Moshe, there's a problem with these Hebrews. The people are bringing more than we need. More than enough for the service. The work which Yahweh commanded us to do. Moshe, help. Too much gold. Moshe, help. Too much silver. Moshe, tell them to put it extra in the money market. We got no room for the gold and for the silver. Moshe, open up a zero coupon band. We got no more room. Moshe, opened up a CD, a 10-year CD. They got no more room for the gold and for the silver. Now you think about that problem.
Too much.
You think about that. These people were so thankful and so loving Yahweh that they had been redeemed and forgiven. And all the things that Yahweh had done for them. That they, when it came to building Yahweh's house, they couldn't stop giving.
Yeah.
And the elders came to Moshe. I wish I had that problem here. The elders came to Moshe and said, Rabbi, stop the giving. There's no room to put this stuff.
We'll have a space on television. We have that.
That's what happens when you have a thankful people. A thankful people will build and maintain Yahweh's house so He can dwell. Next week we're going to have 2 revival services. Yahweh's going to dwell with us. What are you doing above your tithe? That belongs to Yahweh. That doesn't belong to His house. To improve and increase the lot of the physical, the physical place, as well as the spiritual members of that place. Is any of this making sense?
Yes.
Yes.
I said, is any of this making sense?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So, now, let's go here, verse 5. The people bring more than enough. Exodus 36:5. For the service of the work which Yahweh has commanded. Then Moshe commanded and sent his words throughout the camp, saying, let neither man or woman do any more work or contributions, terumah, for the Makom Kadosh. And the people withheld their bringing, verse 7, for what they had was enough for all the work to be done, no, yea, rather, more than enough. Do you know any rabbis with that problem? And you know why? Because our thinking is warped. We're feeding the beast system, but we're not willing to feed and maintain the physical place where Yahweh dwells with us and the members that Yahweh has chosen to dwell among us. Okay, I know no one here has a credit card. I know that. I know I'm the only one. And we don't mind paying the beast system 20% interest. 20% interest. They used to put people in jail for that.
Usury.
Italian Americans in New York used to go to jail for that. No, I'm not Italian American. Don't look at me that way. That's what the mafia used to do. 20% interest. And some of y'all got 7 cards. Matter of fact, you're buying a bigger wallet to put more cards in there.
Loan sharks.
Many years ago, one of the first things when Rivka and I were just failing in our marriage in more ways than one, not to mention financially, we did plastic surgery. We throughout all our, and only when we matured and we learned and we grew in the things of Yahweh, did I allow Rivka to start carrying cards. And she trusts me with cards. Now she, every once in a while, she even hands me a card. But those are crazy things that we did, that we didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yes.
Look at this problem. There was more than enough for all the work that needed to be done, more than enough. And the people said, Moshe, stop the giving. Oh my gosh, I wish I would hear my elders come to me with those words. Moshe, stop the giving. It's too, the pushkis are too small. Somebody's got to call Maryland to make bigger pushkis. Boy, wouldn't that be something? A pushki on wheels. More in the shape of a shopping cart. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. I said Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Turn your neighbor and said, he said Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Okay, go back to Shemot 25. So when the heart is right, that's why Yahweh doesn't want everybody participating. Because when you're nickeling and diming Yahweh, and when you say, I've given him my tithe, I'm free. Sure, you're free. But Yahweh says, I want the silver, the gold, and the bronze, but I want it from the willing hearts, because from the willing hearts, we're going to have more than enough. Think about that. From the willing hearts. If we have 70 members of this congregation, if 25 or 30 get together from willing hearts, maybe we can open up a food pantry across the way. Man, well, that'd be a blessing. It's not just reaching out electronically across the world. Maybe we can have someone from our congregation sit there and take shifts and make sure it's open so people can come and help themselves. It'd be great. Because Yahweh dwells among us. We're not just any motley crew. Turn to your neighbor and say, we're not motley crew.
We're not motley crew. No way.
Not to mention Iron Maiden or one of those idiots. Guns N' Roses. We are the people of Yahweh,
Israel.
among whom Yahweh dwells. Are you with me? The Terumah is a test, a litmus test of the heart, the thankfulness and the gratefulness of the heart. Yes, it is designed for hearts who do not count personal or physical cost. Are you with me? They do not count personal or physical. And it's hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would do it. It's hard not to count physical, personal, or financial costs. It's hard. But that is what produces the overflow, the abundance, where there's so much coming in to the house of Yahweh and to the kingdom of Yahweh and to the maintenance of Yahweh's house that the elders have to scream, stop, Moshe, there's too much coming in. How many are with me? Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Okay, back to Exodus 25. Shemot 25. Let's jump down to verse 22. Shemot 22. Now here's the reason we should be giving and doing better on our terumah, which we have not done good with. You ready? I'll give you one reason. How many want a real biblical reason that we should do more than pay our tithe? We should do more than just pay our 10%, which is an obligation. You want a good reason?
Yes.
You want a biblical reason? You want a Mount Sinai reason? Here it is. Ready?
Yahweh said to do it.
Shemot 25:22. No, not just that. Look at verse 22. Because I will meet with you there.
Come on.
Hallelujah.
That's the reason.
I will meet with you there. When you're lonely, when you're down, when you're alone, when you're cast aside, when you just want to hear Yahweh's voice, His music, His song, His words, you know you can come to Bnei Yeshua's synagogue, and Yahweh says, I will meet with you there.
Amen.
Yeah.
It's a special place. That's why my shoes are off. Not because they don't fit. They fit. It's a special place.
Amen.
Come on now.
Well, that's right.
Yahweh says, because when I build my tabernacle, He says, I will meet you there. Notice, from above the lid of atonement, from between the cheruvim, which are on top of the ark of the witness, or the mercy seat, I will speak to you all that I command concerning the children of Israel.
Come on.
That may sound like a